Good day to you and welcome to episode number 2 of how to start streaming. I hope you enjoyed episode number 1 and we're going to go over the graphical art of our new created Arctomian channel, and I hope you're watching with me. At any time you can press pause and see exactly on what I've done. Let's see. We got our channel over here. We're gonna do the logo today. We're gonna do the offline screen today. We're gonna do the panels today, and we're gonna do the profile banner. So this is gonna be a very long tutorial. Bear with me. And yeah, let's get started. So we're gonna start off with I'm using Photoshop CS6. I find that the most easy one to use, and I prefer it. Let's start with the logo. The logo I always make in 500 on 500. There we go. So we got a blank square, if you know what I mean. At any time, by the way, guys, if you feel not comfortable by making it, I will show you in this video a link to my DeviantArt. I do sell for a very moderate fee, not high, complete stream UI for twitch.tv. If you want me to make one for you, just post a PM to me or mail me on my mail address. Anyway, the logo. So first we'll see a couple of layers over here. We'll click on the layer so we can edit it. Press OK. There we go. And we delete out the background. We maybe add a background in later, but for now we're just gonna keep it like this. Alright, so let's make a round figure. Here we go. And up here you'll find layer. Press new layer. There we go. Perfect. We'll call this, let me see, border? Sure, why not? We'll call it border. Then we'll give it a nice, you know what? Let's make it all neon green. And before you start off with making your own stream UI, your own background, your profile banner and that kind of stuff, make sure that you stick to one theme. Your entire thing doesn't want to conflict. You want to keep it in one theme. And if you play a certain game, then by all means, make it about that game. My own channel, I stream only World of Warcraft, so therefore I have a World of Warcraft theme. So I'm going with neon green. We're making it a little bit more general. Over here you'll have a paint bucket. If you change that out, you can get the granite tool. I just used that. So paint bucket, let's fill it in. There we go. We got our nice square circle. It's called border. Perfect. Now we'll make another one. No, that's a little bit too small. I think that's a little bit too small as well. Nope. There we go. No, that's not right at all. Alright. This is perfect. As you can see, I've got a circle. It's not completely round within the green border, but that's what I was going for anyway. Because I want to move it. I want to make the top left a little bit thinner. And the lower right I want to make thicker. It's not the right one yet. Let's see. There we go. Seems like the circle is not completely correct. You know what? This might actually be very nice if I just make it a smaller one. Never done this. I've never done that before, so let's make it like this. Now we got a nice border over here in the layer border, and I've got a round circle in it. You simply press delete on your keyboard, and there we go. Oh my god, doesn't that look awesome? Perfect. Alright. Now we're gonna edit this border a little bit. So if you go to the border on the right, press on the right mouse key, or click on the right mouse key, then go to blending option. There we go. And let's edit it a little bit. We've got the vel and brass, contour, texture, stroke, inner shadow, inner glow, satin, color overlay, granite overlay, pattern overlay, outer glow, and drop shadow. We're gonna make it, first of all, bevel embossed. I don't like the way on how it looks right now. Mainly because the shadow mode is black. I want to give it a little bit of a different color. Let's see. I think I prefer darker green. Yeah, that looks about okay. Perfect. And the white will give... Maybe we should make that black. Yeah, we'll make that black. Perfect. Now, the depth and the size and the soften out, you know, we can choose inner bevel, or we can choose emboss, pillow emboss, or stroke emboss. Oh, that doesn't do anything at all for me, so I'm gonna go with outer bevel. Or sorry, inner bevel. There we go. We're gonna change the depth a little bit, and the size. Starting to look like something. Soften it up a little bit. As you can see, soften it doesn't make it chisel hard, like here, or chisel soft. I'm gonna go with chisel hard because that looks kind of nice. I can make a gloss contour on it, as you can see, on various different kind of ways. The regular one is just going upwards, and there's not really that much that I like, but I do like this one, so we're gonna go with this one. Perfect. So excuse me, I got my bevel and brass done. Next thing, I'm gonna give it a little bit of a stroke, and I can change the size of the stroke. You know what, I don't like the stroke that much, so instead of stroke, I'm gonna give it a outer glow. The outer glow I will make black. As you can see, I'm spreading a little bit, and the size, there we go, a little bit less spread. Perfect. Let's see if we can change out the contour. That looks kind of like a cartoony, little toony. You see borders around that. I don't like that at all. That I don't like at all. You know, I'll stick with this. Perfect. Alright, next up. I might want to give it a drop shadow. But I want the drop shadow in a certain angle. Like over here. So we're gonna the opacity we're gonna increase. We're gonna make the distance a little bit bigger. There we go. Spread it out a little bit. And size it up. There we go. Alright, I wanna make it a little bit more 3D. So for 3D we're gonna use a little bit of the satin. Now this totally looks shit, but we're gonna change that in a matter of moments. Let's down the opacity over here and then start wiggling with the distance. And the size. There we go. Multiply, we're gonna pick a different color. Or multiply. Yeah, multiply we're gonna give a different color. I wanna make it a little bit more neon. But I want to give it a darker green than the neon that we originally intend. There we go. That looks awesome. The next one is the color overlay. You can change out the color anytime you want. This is for pictures usually that have, for instance, a silhouette in it. We're not going to use that today. Oh, wrong one. The granite overlay we are going to use. But instead of granite, we're going to go with this one. Give it a little bit of an inner shadow, but the angle on it is totally wrong. So we're going to wiggle around with the angle. There you go. And then we decrease the opacity a little bit because I find it a little bit too dark. There we go. Perfect. And then let's see, what else can we do here? We can give it an inner shadow. I don't like that though. Inner glow. You know, the inner glow with the white in it might look a little bit awesomer. So we're gonna choke it up and size it out a little bit. Ooh. We might want to give it a very bright color. Jitter it. And then go to the color setting over here. Yes. And then size it. We decrease the size a little bit. There we go. Alright. So we're done with our border. You see on the right side on the layer section what we have added in the blending options effect. We can, if you have multiple layers for instance, you will see that in a moment. You can collapse that, simply the border is done. Next up we're gonna add a text to it. So we're gonna make this all about Arc Tutorial. So let's get Arc Tutorial in. Arc Tutorial. Alright, I do not like the font, so let's pick out a new font. Oh crap, I removed that. Give me one moment. Alright, so we got Arc Tutorial here, and we're gonna fiddle with that as well. But before we're gonna do that, we're gonna find a font. Alright, let's find a font. There's tons of websites that give you free fonts. I'm always using 1001 fonts. There we go. And let's get a nice font. Something that speaks to us when we are looking at Arc Tutorial. Something that's not overly done. You need a font that's actually readable when you make it smaller as well. You know, this. Like Margarita in August regular. I'm gonna take that. Alright, we're gonna save that. Go to downloads. And then open up in the map that you find it on. Pack it out. Margarita in August. Cut. Very important, guys. And then go to Control Panel, Appearance and Personalization, Fonts, scroll all the way down, or just right mouse click over there and paste. There, we're done. You can close this off, and while Photoshop is still active, you can change out the font. Let's see. Margarita in August it was called. Margarita in August. There we go. Well, looks like a little bit too small, so let's change out the opacity the size of it. Still too small. You know what? We'll manually make it a little bit larger. Let's say 82. No, I'm not. Let's make it 92. There. That's something that we want. Next up, the color. Since I made it, the border very bright, I want to make it a little bit darker because I want people to read it. Oh, sorry. You'll find on the upper side over here, you'll find where you can change out the color. This is a little bit. Well, you know, I like the purple with it. Did you guys think so? There we go. Yeah, perfect. We'll make it completely Candy Crush, neon green and purple. Alright, that's the color that I'm going for right now. And I'll show you a trick on how to copy that, but we'll get to that later. Arc Tutorial. Are we gonna fiddle around with the letters? Maybe make this. Yeah, that completely looks not so good as I look longer to it. Alright, we'll keep it like this. We're gonna position it. And you know what? think we're gonna make a nice effect to it. As you can see, next to the collar over here, you'll find a T with a kind of arch in it. You can give it a style effect. We're gonna go with arc lower. Perfect. Position it out. And we'll come back to that in a moment. Ah! My bad. Excuse me. There we go. Alright, we're coming back to that in a moment. What are we gonna do now? Alright. First of all, we're gonna take our tutorial. You go to Edit, Transform. We'll go with Free Transform. And then change it out. There we go. I think this is about the right corner that I want to have it. Yeah, that looks perfect. Alright. And as I said before, we're going to go back to the arch. And then position it just right. Well, as you can see, it's still not fitting. So there's a vertical distortion within that. And a horizontal distortion. I want to go the other way. And we want to position it a little bit.
Channel timed out.
Ooh, my TeamSpeak is acting up weird. We're gonna close that up for a moment. We're gonna get it out of the box a little bit. So we're gonna get it out of the border over here, and I think this looks pretty nice. Arc tutorial. Let's see if we can change it a little bit more. This looks about right. Now if we click it over here, it completely goes out of the box. But it's still too blending. It's blending too much in. So let's make it a right color, blending, and give it a stroke. There we go. That's already better. It's better readable now. Alright. Arc tutorial. I'm not completely sure if we're gonna keep it in this position, but we'll see in a moment. And we're gonna fiddle around with the blending options here as well. So we want to give it a little bit of an inner glow. Maybe something less purple. Something more of this. We're gonna size it out a little bit. There we go. And see if we can do something with the contour. That looks about right. And let me see if we can add a satin to it as well. That would be totally awesome. Perfect. Maybe bevel emboss it. Well, if we depth it a little bit less than this. There we go. That looks perfect. This is what I wanted to have. Alright. Let me see. Yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with that, but I'm not satisfied with the position it's on. You can use at any time when you want to precise put it in a certain position. You can use your keys, your up, down, left and right to position it just right. There we go. And I want to add a shadow to it. Drop shadow. There we go. Because I want to show that it's going over the border. Alright, the opacity we will increase. Spread size a little bit. There. Perfect. Nah, not. Ooh, that kind of can look right if I can size that right. Yes. Perfect. Done. Alright. So this looks quite nice. Even though it's a little bit conflicting in the colors. But you know, this is only a tutorial. Don't shoot me for it. Let's collapse it again on the right side. And now the interesting part happens. So I'm going to show you how to use stock images. A lot of graphical designers use stock images. And a lot of graphical designers make stock images. We're not going to create a picture out of ourselves today. We are going to look for one. Here we go. Go to Google. And I want a question mark. Question mark. Alright, we got a couple of question marks over here. But I want a specific question mark. I want to have it ready for Photoshop instead of me having to cut out the background. So we're gonna add .png, that's the file format for it, and go to images. We got a ton of question marks. I like this one. The problem with that is that I have to color on it. If I give it a color overlay, then all of them get the same and I cannot make the difference on the question and the exclamation mark. So we can, or I don't want to use too much time up on that one, so we're not going to use that one. Let me see. Can we find a nice toony stock image? Not yet. Not something yet that I want to have. Maybe if I add toony in front of it. Well, that didn't give us a solution at all. Alright. Let's remove toony again. We're gonna have to do with this. You know, we'll pick this one. I think I'm quite okay with that. Am I? Still not completely sure about this image. This is of a process that you need to be absolutely sure about. I like this one, but it's got a watermark over it. A lot of the graphical arts used on the stock images use a watermark over it so you can't rip on it. Maybe this. It's the same. No. 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 Alright. We'll keep up with the original that I had. Let me see. This one. And then save it. With save image as. And then we're gonna make a nice. Let me see. I've got an external hard disk for this, so. Going to Arctomian, sprites, YouTube. We're gonna call this. We're gonna put this in the bits. We're gonna call this question mark. All right, and save it. It's a PNG file, so let's save it. Wow, this is the first time my computer actually took longer for that. All right, so we got our image right now. Let me see. At all times, do not forget to name the layers. If you have like 60 layers dropping around and you need to edit out because you're later in the art you find something that you want to change and you have to find out which layer it actually was, it's gonna be a pain in the ass to find it back. So, alright, let's file open. Let's go back. There we go. YouTube. Go to bits. Question mark. Here we go. Now you got the question mark in a completely new window. We're gonna drag this down. Keep it clicked in and drag it down. There we go. And you'll see the layer over here. And then you'll press on, if in case you're not having a move tool on, press on the move tool over here. Go over there and it's in your image. Now we can close this one off. There we go. We got a question mark, but it's not the right size. So let's go to edit. Transform, scale, and scale it down. I would like to have it completely in the round circle of it. There we go. But I'm not happy with the position of it. So there we go. We go to edit again, free transform. There we go. And then position it just right. There we go. We're gonna fiddle with this later, but since the original stock picture is a little bit distorted, I'm gonna want to distort it a little bit better. So we go back to transform again, edit, transform, and then you'll see distort over here. Now I can change out the corners of it. And as I said, I want to have it a little bit toony. I think this looks about it. Edit, free transform it a little bit more. There we go. Perfect. Alright. So we call this layer, question mark. There we go. Go to blending options. First of all, we're going to give it a stroke. Are we going to give it a stroke? It's not nice at all. So we're going to give it an outer glow. But it's white originally, so we're making it black. There we go. Spread it out a little bit. Increase the opacity. Range it out a little bit. There we go. And put the jitter on maximum. That's the first thing. Now we're gonna give it a bevel and brass, since we did with the rest as well, but the bevel and brass on the standard gives too much of a corners, so we're gonna lower the depth on it. There we go. Soften out. Yeah, that looks about right. And then give it a darker red. Yeah, that's better. See, we can do anything with the glass contour. Ooh, that doesn't look good at all. That doesn't look good at all. Don't like that. We'll keep it with this. Alright, next up, drop the shadow. We're gonna drop a shadow, multiply, and then the opacity we increase to 100. We distance it a little bit. There we go. Spread it out a little bit, not too much. Then go back into the distance. Over here. Add a little bit. No, the noise is totally not interesting at all. So, alright. There we go. Maybe we add a little bit of satin to it. I'm not completely sure if we're gonna do that. Maybe distance. The picture is a little bit in a weird shape, so setting it out is gonna be a problem. No, like this. A little bit less multiply. There we go. This looks perfect. Alright, so now we got our question mark. Do we want to add anything else? Let's collapse it layer on the right side. We've done that already. I want to have a background in the question mark. What kind of background do we want? Well, first of all, let's make a background. We'll go back to the left side, elliptical marker tool. We're going to make a new circle. If my Photoshop agrees with me, it does not. Perfect. Come on, Photoshop, work with me here. There we go. Position that just right, I wanted to say, but there we go. Put it within the borders. Let's position that even with this you can use your movement tools in order to position it. There we go. Do not fill it in just yet. We're gonna add a new layer, because that's gonna be the, let's call this question mark background. Done. That layer is gonna be behind the border. I can move it at any time I want. Like for instance, I want to put it on top of the border, you drag it over the border, or I want to put it on top of the question mark, you can drag it over the question mark. For now, this is the background of the question mark, so we're going to put it behind. I'm going to have to redo the entire circle again. Doesn't have to be precise, but I'm seeing that on the right side made an error, so I'm going to have to do this again. Fine. There we go. Now it's about picking the right color. So what color should we give it? It's red and green, so maybe we should make it blue. Let's have all colors of the rainbow. Perfect. Go to the bucket tool. Not bad. Not bad at all. Alright. We'll keep it like this. This is our question background. But I'm not completely satisfied with the size, because it will be very hard for me to blend options with that. So let's edit the size. Free transform or scale transform. Let's get it to the border. That's perfect. Yes. Alright, so now we can start blending it. Blending options again. Velvet and brass, but this time we're gonna add the depth. We're gonna make it bigger. Size it a little bit. Less depth. There we go. Soften up. I don't like the white on it, so we're gonna give it a different color. Because it kind of gives a flare lens to it. But the white is just, I rarely use white, so I'm gonna use yellow, I think, for it. And increase the opacity for it. There we go. Yes. Right. Color overlay? No. Granite overlay? Yes. But again, if we're gonna go with the granite overlay, we wanna get this one. There we go. And then change out the opacity a little bit, because it's getting a little bit too dark. There we go. We want an inner shadow maybe. See what that does for us. It's totally the wrong one. No. There we go. Think I like it like this. And that's the way it is. Opacity. Add a little bit of satin to it. Nah, the satin doesn't make that much of a difference. We're gonna keep it like this. Alright, collapse it out. Art tutorial, it's completely done. Now, think I'm satisfied with the logo. Don't you guys think? Perfect. Alright, so we're gonna save it twice. Do not forget this at any time. Do not forget this. If you want to edit later on, you'll need the PSD file, which is the Photoshop file. But you also want to use it on Arctutorial or on your own Twitch channel, so you need to save it as PNG as well. So first we're gonna save it as, there we go, bits. You know, we'll make a new map over here. We call this Arctutorial. We're gonna call this main logo. Now we want to save it as a PSD file at the moment, Photoshop file. turning the maximum compatibility, and well, don't show this again please, there we go. And then file, save it again, but this time we're gonna scroll down and find the PNG file. There we go, perfect. Save that as well, and there we go. Now if we minimize it and go to our channel, there we go, we can go to profile, perfect, and I can go to channel again, but that was totally useless. Why would I do that? I want to change out the logo, but I shouldn't go there. Now you can scroll down over here and go to dashboard. Let's go to settings. It's the easiest way on how I look up for it. Profile picture. So let's find the profile picture that we just made in Photoshop. Alright. Arctomian. YouTube. Arc tutorial. There it is. Perfect. And it will not show up. That's something within Twitch. But you can save the change though. It says main logo over here. Wait for a moment until it's saved. There we go, and now you'll see it. If we go back to profile, go to channel, and you'll see my logo stands up here. Now the reason why it's so nicely with the white background is because I made it a PNG file. I didn't add any background. You don't have to make it square in order to make it completely into the profile picture. If you make it a PNG without a background into it, it will show up like this just nicely. Alright, so that's the logo. We are going to use the logo in the background as well, in the offline screen. So let's get started with that. So, welcome back. We're gonna go with the offline screen. I already made one, since I accidentally started making one while I was thinking that I was recording, but I was actually not recording. That's crappy, so I'm gonna have to do everything all over again. This is what I made for the offline screen so far. And we're gonna start completely over again. Alright, I already have the stock images, so I don't have to look for that. That's perfect. So let's start over. We're gonna close this. And a file, open up a new layer. Now this is very important. I made that accident as well when I thought I was recording. The width for it is 640 pixels and the height for it is 360 pixels. That's the optimal one that Twitch says you should use for an offline screen. So let's make that one. Here we go. Let's click on the background. Let's remove it. My Photoshop is really not having a good day today. Let's open up a new one. There we go. Go to bits. Add the background. Perfect. And we can close this off. There we go. We can call this Tony background. Tony background. There we go. And then go to edit. Then scale it down. What? Are you crazy? Yes, I'm crazy. We're gonna scale this down. There we go. Perfect. Nice. Awesome. So let's add the pony that I originally created as well. Open. There we go. Brony. But before we're gonna add that, there's a small signature. I want to remove that. So alright, let's remove that. The easiest way to do this, and a lot of you thinking like you need to gum for that. Yeah, you can do that as well. You'll be spending eternity to do that, but I'm using the how is it called in English? Elliptical mark tool. Then select section that I want to delete and then press the delete key on your keyboard. Then with your movement buttons left, right, up and down, you get the rest part. There we go. And that's done. So let's get that picture into the background. There we go. Close this off. No, I don't want to save it like that. Scale that down to a nice size. Just for future references, Arctomian is not a brony. I just figured it fit nicely with the Arc tutorial channel. There we go. Alright, so we got our image. Looks quite nice. Alright, anyway, it looks the wrong way. So we go to edit, transform, flip horizontal, shabam. It looks the other way. Let's get it more over here. Now it looks blended into the background. Next up, I want to add another layer. So let's go to layer, new layer. We're gonna call this green screen. And we're gonna drag this down behind the 2D background. Layer 1 we're gonna call brony. Totally almost forgot that. And we're gonna use the rectangular mark tool. No pixels were selected, no shit. There we go. And add a greenish color to it. So, but you know, green, not now I'm thinking of it, it doesn't look that. Oh no, well, you know what? We're gonna do it anyway. Here we go, and use the paint bucket. Oh, I've got the wrong layer selected. Green screen. There we go. Here we go. Done. Perfect. So now we've got the brony, and the 2D background is not visible at all. How can we get that to work? Underneath you'll find, underneath the layer section, you'll find layer, add layer mask. Click that. Once you will find an add layer. Now you want to go to the paint bucket, right mouse click on it, granite tool, and you can start working it out. And there we have the 2D background already. I think I like it like that. Perfect. Alright, so we'll leave that alone for now. We're gonna add the text. Now I've already searched the font as well, and if you don't know how to add a font, just simply look back into the logo making of this tutorial. I will show you how to add a font over there. I got Equestrian. I do not want to make it green, I want to make it pink. There we go. And 44 was the magic point number for the font size. There we go. Yeah. No, delete layer. There we go. And delete layer. Let's start it over again. For why doesn't it show? More information. Visit. Come on. Visit www.twitch. No, not .twitch. YouTube.com/the Arctomian. Alright, Control A. Let's make it a nice point size. No, 30 is not good. 24 is about right. I want to make it a little bit bigger. Let's say 28. 28 is perfect. There we go. Let's get it into position right. There we go. Alright, so we got the information section underneath there as well. Sorry guys, I'm smoking while I'm making this tutorial. It's a nasty habit. Don't start on it, children. Alright, so it's kind of blending into the section. I want to get this a little bit closer. Here we go. Looks ugly. That doesn't matter. Actually, can we zoom out one? There we go. So, right mouse click, blending options. We're gonna fiddle around with the text. We're gonna give it a stroke. That's one thing. We're gonna give it a stroke of 2. 2 sounds about right. Let's see. I want to give the stroke another color. I'm gonna make it dark purple. Darker purple. Way darker purple. Yeah, this looks about right. There we go. That's the stroke. I might even want to change it to 1. No, it's hardly visible then. Alright, 2. We're gonna give it a bevel and blast, but as you can see it's way too much. So we're gonna close down the depth on it. Size it up a little bit. Soften. There you go. Now, are we gonna fiddle around with that? Yeah, that looks about right. So we added the glass contour. I'm gonna keep it white because I want to make it a little bit of a glossy on the top part of the text. And we're gonna increase the opacity on it as well. There we go. Now we're gonna drop a shadow. I'm gonna increase the opacity over, make a little bit of a distance, spread. The size should be now narrowed down. I'm gonna decrease the distance a little bit. There we go. I think 4 is perfect. Yeah, 4 is perfect. That sounds about right. Alright, granite overlay. Same thing as before. But it's getting a little bit too dark then. So how can we decrease that? By decreasing the opacity. Let's put it on 25, I think. That's perfect. Yeah, 25 is perfect. Do we want to add an outer glow to it? Maybe. White outer glow. Let's increase the opacity. Now let's spread out a little bit. Maybe we want to give it another color as well. Or maybe we want to keep it white. We're gonna keep it white. Okay, so that's it for now. Now we got, we can drop this down and duplicate this layer. We're gonna call this tutorial. Do not forget to take the movement tile. Here we go. And then change out this text with this is a Twitch tutorial page. You know, there we go. Control A. Let's see if we can get a little bit better. There we go. This is a Twitch tutorial page. Perfect. Now let's move it a little bit to the right. There we go. Done. Perfect. Alright. Now we're gonna copy it again. Duplicate layer. And we're gonna call this for Brony. I could not find anything that's more original. Sorry about that. And we're gonna call this how are we gonna call this? We're gonna say over here on how to set up your own stream. Control A. Let's make that a lot smaller. 30. There we go. Yep. Sounds about right. Let me see. I do not like the question mark over here. That means we can increase the points. So let's make it 50. And maybe we can increase this as well. That's 30 at the moment. Let's make it 36. No, 36 is a little bit too much. Maybe 34. Yeah. Yes! Yes! Awesome! Everything is awesome. No, I want to make it 32 anyway. Control A, 32. There we go. Alright, so that's that. I want to do something with the green screen. So let's go to the blending options over here. First of all, I want to give it an outer glow. Let's size the outer glow a little bit up. Spread. Oh, that's a little bit too much. And let's give it a brighter color, green. Yeah, perfect. There we go. Contour it. Size, no. Spread. And we increase the opacity on it. It's kind of like Happy Tree Friends. Come to think of it. Alright, what do we else want to add? Drop shadow? No. We're gonna add satin to it. But we're gonna decrease the opacity and we're gonna give it another color. Give it a bluish color. Let's increase the opacity to 25. Whatever works for you. There we go. And then a color overlay. No, not the color overlay. Granite overlay. There we go. Exactly the same thing. There we go. Decrease the opacity on it. There we go. Gonna change the angle out. Scale it a little bit. I think that looks way better already. Yeah, I'm quite satisfied with how that looks. Now the Toonie background, are we gonna do anything with that? Are we gonna do anything with that? No, but we are gonna do something with the brony. Because there's small white lines on it. We're gonna give it an outer glow, there we go. Give that the color of the original. There we go. I'm gonna size it up a little bit. Not too much. Do not forget not too much. And give it a contour. That's totally the wrong contour. That's the right contour that I was looking for. There we go. Drop a shadow maybe. And the distance is a little bit high. Let's give it a distance of 2, 3. 23 is a little bit too much. Come on. 3. 3 is the magic number. Alright, so there. Give it a setting? No, we're not gonna give it a setting. Inner glow. Yeah, well, the inner glow is actually not that bad. No, it is. It's not. Okay. Let's keep it like this. So the brony is done as well. Here we go. And I think that that's how we're gonna keep it. So if we're gonna go on actual pixels, view, and then go to actual pixels, this is how it originally looks. Now, let's save that. Save, of course, first as a PSD file. Let's see. Arc tutorial. Offline screen 2. Save to replace. There we go. And of course save it as a PNG file. You can place that as well. The sad thing out of it is the more complex your background is, the less sharpened it gets on Twitch.tv. I do not know what the reason is. If you do know on how to change that and how to get it sharp, I've done it so for other channels on when I made the graphical art for them. But those were monocolors, like when I used only black and red on silhouettes and that kind of stuff. So if you do know how to get it as sharp as much as possible, or if I have to use Adobe After Effects or Cinema 4D, let me know in the comments below or PM me. Either way. Alright, so let's add the offline screen. Here we go. We have no offline screen. Go to dashboard. Go to settings. Then go to channel and videos. And then we'll find the video player banner. Let's add the offline screen too. Go down, save changes. Done. Now if we go to the profile and back to our channel, we get a very annoying commercial since I still did not add a ad blocker. As usually in the country that I'm living in, so this is Dutch. And it's totally bogus commercial as well. What? Really? Oh my god. Bye-bye. And there we go. This is our offline screen. For more information, visit youtube.com. The Arctomian. Fine, perfect. So this is what we want. We have the logo now and we have the offline screen. Next up, we're gonna add edit panels. So we're gonna make banners for Twitter, for information and that kind of stuff. And we're gonna make a change profile banner. And this is a little bit of a tricky thing and I'll show you why. Alright, see you in a moment.